Hello, once again, fellow YouTubers. This is another video talking about how to never get busted again. You know, la-di-da. So, you got to learn techniques on how to thwart nosy people. Now, I've noticed this in these states where there's more like drug smuggling and drug trafficking, like by the borders, like by the close to the ocean, or close to the Canadian border. Let me illustrate some examples here. When I was in northern Michigan, I was at the public library in Marquette, Michigan, and I'm sitting next to my friend, and somebody else, he's to my right, and someone is to the right of him. And all of a sudden, he goes on his merry way, that one stranger. And next thing that me and my friend know is that a policeman shows up, and he says to my friend and me that that one dude that's sat next to my friend on both of our right, that one stranger, he claims that somebody stole his stuff, and the policeman and that stranger thinks that one of us or both of us might have been responsible for stealing that dude's backpack. And so all of a sudden, totally unexpected situation. Okay, the policeman has like a cocky attitude too, and he exchanges a few words between me and my friend, and out of the blue, unexpectedly, he asks my friend, what's your address? And he says that in a way, when he asks that, as if it's no big deal. Okay, and if you don't have in your mind like a different address to use, like even if you make one up other than the one that you're at, you're not going to know what to say. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could say that I don't answer any questions. You could say that, as I heard in another documentary about how to never get busted again. But you could either say I don't answer any questions, or have ready in your mind a made up address, or a P.O. box, or some mailing address other than your physical address where you stay at. Okay. And and then one time I was in Mendocino County, where everybody knows, most people know that you can grow 25 plants of marijuana for medicinal use if you have your medical marijuana card. You would think that, and these are not even police officers. Again, the authorities will many times use covert regular people to spy on you, and this has happened there in Mendocino County, in Ukiah, and then it happened before that in Fort Bragg. It happened in Mendocino County, California, Ukiah, California, and Fort Bragg, California, by the ocean, in same county, Mendocino County. And I've been at the I've been at the shelter. I've been around the block a couple times or so, and the first time, the people working at the shelter didn't ask for any personal information at all. And now all of a sudden, as they test the boundaries, as I noticed with other shelters as they do, last time I went there, they ask you for your name, if you got ID, all this kind of personal information, which they never asked before. And I went to camp outside in a tent, and then like I even got other campers. Out of all the things they could say to me, the one and only thing they say, the first and last and one and only thing that they say is, "What's your name?" You know what I'm saying? Not in like a cocky way, but in a normal way. But you know, you would think that they would have enough common sense to respect your privacy. You know what I'm saying? But they apparently not. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing I noticed through my travels as well, which I'll talk about in another video or so, about how you can look up and know information about a certain area of the world, and go there and come to find out it's completely the opposite. Okay, and I'll talk about that more in a different video or so. But and I've checked into a motel, not a hotel, because a motel's room doors are usually facing the outside. A hotel's room doors are usually facing the inside. You know, where you have to have a key usually to get inside the building, let alone to get inside your room. You know what I'm saying? That's a hotel. But I was staying at a motel in some town like Grand Forks, or Great Falls, North Dakota, by the Canadian border. Again, by the border. Okay, up, and northern Michigan is by the Canadian border too. But I checked into a motel which cost like $530 per month. First of all, they made me go to the local hardware store to buy a new lock. Okay, for one thing. Second of all, the room was not move-in ready. Okay, so and they only had one room left, apparently. You know what I'm saying? Which probably wasn't even true. I don't know. But so I check into the room, and come to find out, it doesn't have a TV. It's cold. They don't have hardly any, if at all, any blankets. You know what I'm saying? And so I ask if they have any more blankets or a TV. And so they come into my room with more blankets and a TV that they finally connect to the cable. And so, you know, the two people that come into my room, they're all they use this. I noticed this from experience. These cheaper motels will use rooms that are not moving ready, and they'll either later after you move in, they'll either move items into your room and or they'll move items out of your room, and they'll strike up a conversation with you and try to. I mean, I understand these small towns they have people that are curious and whatnot, but still, you can't be like too nosy, you know what I'm saying? And so it's not just that. Okay, you did not have to use an ID to even check in there, and they suggested that you use cash. Okay, so right off the bat, even though they come into your room to move in these other items, you think they're just being a little bit invasive of your privacy. And then later, I notice one of the other workers, he's all knocking on other people's doors, you know, because these motel rooms, they have thin walls. You can very easily hear the people talking next door rooms over. You can hear people knocking on your door, talking outside your door very easily. I can hear the person that works at this motel knocking on other people's doors and talking to them about this, that, hey, you gonna stay another day, another month, this and that, along those lines. And so he knew that I wouldn't expect him to later come to my door. Because I noticed he's knocking on like all these different kinds of people's doors, and he doesn't bother me. And at the time, I'm shy, and so I'm thinking to myself, oh, please, do not knock on my door. I do not want to be bothered. And sure enough, he eventually knocks on my door. And the one and only thing that pretty much comes out of his mouth is, and he has this clipboard with a note paper on it. And he asked me at that time, what's your name? You know what I'm saying? And so if you don't have already made up in your mind a fake address or fake name, these unexpected incidences will throw you off. And in California, the northern part of the U.S., this is where more drug smuggling goes on, in my theory. This has also happened in a town in Indiana by the Amtrak train stop. Okay, I checked into a cheap motel room there, which was like $500 a month. And the same scenario happened. Like, I was shy at the time, and the TV I had at the time was broke. The shades were broke, and I asked them if they could remedy the situation. And so sure enough, they come into my room and they remedy the situations. And where they're working on the shades, the windows, whatnot, this and that. Then they're all starting to strike up a conversation with me and say, oh, you look familiar. What brings you into this town? This and that. You know what I'm saying? Again, I understand people can be curious. Everybody is curious, but you don't want to be like too nosy. You know what I'm saying? And then I know that they told their daughter this to because all of a sudden I hear them talking out the window. Next door, the maintenance man lives next door or so, close by. It's a very small motel to begin with, and the maintenance man lives at the motel with his girlfriend or his wife, and they had like 1 or 2 or so kids, and it's the son or the daughter. The father or mother says to the son or daughter, hey, you don't want to mess with people's mail, that's a federal offense or something like that. And I'm thinking like, dude, you guys put that kid up to that. Okay, I've seen some crime shows that happen in places like most crimes were committed in California or Indiana. I've seen many crimes that were committed from those areas on shows on HLN, that crime station. Okay, and so many times they'll use children to fuck with people. You know what I'm saying? So you know, you got to lay this all down at the very beginning. You got to say this all from the very beginning, as Scott Boleyn talks about. Okay, because if you don't say anything at the beginning, and you let them push the boundaries over time, it's going to take a while to get back to that normal situation. But if you lay everything down from the beginning, it sets a better tone from the beginning, and they don't know. Okay, so always, and I've had this happen at a different library, which was in Kansas. But all of a sudden, I'm sitting at my computer at the library, or the library's computer, and this black lady, which doesn't matter if she's black or white, as Michael Jackson sings, but you know, it's this person who's a black lady. You know, she all of a sudden says, my phone's gone, who took my phone? You know what I'm saying? And the police didn't actually show up, but you got to always have ready in your mind, expect the unexpected. You know what I'm saying? Okay, have ready in your mind a fake name and a fake address. Okay, because in Indiana, in the Fort Wayne Public Library, if you eat food in their library, or if you do some minor thing, this or that, then they'll have the security talk to you, and they'll ask you for what your name is. Okay, now that's even though it's not legal to do recreational marijuana, you got people that are of Dutch descent. Amsterdam is of Dutch people, you know, so it runs in their blood to sell drugs, even if it's not legal. Okay, and they're playboys in Amsterdam, just like they are in Fort Wayne, Indiana, Salt Lake City, Utah, here, and Southern California, and they all exude almost the exact, if not the exact same characteristics. Okay, you'll have people, a security guard, they will ask you for your name if you eat food or do something that they don't approve of, you know what I'm saying, against the rules. I was at this shelter here, and some staff member asked me out of nowhere, what's my name, when he can already easily tell what it is. This is my first out of at least more videos. Till next time, bye.